Welcome back to Hacking the Regents. In case you thought we were done with the store function, well, we've got a lot more store in store. For starters, let's go through one more problem on equivalent expressions. So you can see here, this is slightly different. We've got 4 expressions listed and a starting expression, and then we're asked which ones is that starting expression equivalent to. There's 4 choices here. So we need to go through each of these 4 in order to find which is equivalent. However, I will point out for this one, if you pay careful attention, take a moment and read your choices, you'll notice there's a shortcut. All of these answers include number 2 as equivalent. So you don't have to test number 2. You know it's equivalent. It's given right there in the choices. So if you take a moment to sort of think strategically, think about how much work can I avoid, you will have saved yourself a little bit more time. If you don't want to, that's okay. You can still just type in all 4 expressions along with the original one and just see which ones are equivalent. So take a moment. We store into X, as always, right? A reminder how that works. We go number, not between -2 and +2. So 3, store X, enter. Our starting expression here, 4x squared minus 4x minus 120. So -96 is going to be my target number because I picked 3 as my function store. You can pick, of course, again, any value for x you like, just not between -2 and +2. But whatever number you get, that's going to be your target number. Go ahead, try 1, 3, and 4 out, see what happens. One other note on strategic thinking. Once you know that 2 has to be an answer, you might think, okay, what else can I do to simplify my testing? For instance, 3 only shows up in one of my choices. So if 3 is equivalent, I automatically know 4 is my answer. Alternatively, I could try number 1 because number 1 is in half the answers. So if 1 works, I've eliminated 2 and 4. If 1 doesn't work, I've eliminated 1 and 3. And half my wrong answers are gone either way. Okay, if you haven't already, pause the video, figure it out, and we're going to look at the answer in 3, 2, 1. Did you get number 3? I hope you did. Now, if you look at my calculator, you'll notice, in addition to my starting number, all I tested was numbers 1 and 4. Because once I tested number 1, I knew my answer was either going to be number 1 or 3. And then I tested 4, and 4 was equivalent as well. So I had my answer. I didn't have to test all 4 of them. I didn't even have to test 3 of them. Just a little bonus for you to think about. Okay, let's move on. We're still using store, but now instead of looking for equivalent expressions, we're going to solve some equations. So here you go. Which value of x satisfies the equation 5/6 times 3/8 minus x equals 16? Now, we're still going to use store, but rather than setting a target number, we have our target number. Our target number is 16. We want to find out what value of x makes the answer on your calculator come out to be 16. And rather than picking your own number to store, you're going to use the numbers that are already there. Plug these in, the one that gives you 16 back. That's our solution. Now, I'm going to show you how that copy-paste becomes really useful again as well. But first we need our original expression right here, and we need to store. So we're going to store negative 16.3125 into x. Quick reminder, negative is here with the numbers, minus subtraction is over here with the operations. Do not confuse this subtraction button with this negative button. It's hard to see that distinction on the screen, but just keep in mind which one does which. This is an operation, it goes with the operations. This talks about value of the number, it goes with the numbers. Okay? So, negative 16.3125 stored into x, and we go from there. 5/6. Oh, I got to make a fraction. If you don't know how to make a fraction on your calculator, there's several ways. Here's a nice quick one. Alpha, y equals n over d, numerator, denominator, fraction. There, by the way, is your mixed numbers, units, and numerator, denominator. This allows you to switch back and forth between an improper fraction and mixed number. And this lets you switch back and forth between fractions and decimals. Really useful to be able to do those things. Again, calculator is a wonderful tool. You have to know how to use it. In any case, we've got our fraction now. We go 5, down, 6, to the right to get out of the fraction, parentheses, and we need another fraction. Alpha y equals, enter, 3/8, 3, down, 8, out to the right to exit the fraction, minus, subtraction now, not negative, x, and enter. Well, that is not 16, so now we know that's not correct. From here, we're just going to store on the next one, negative 18.825. Negative 18.825, store x, enter. Now, copy-paste time. There's my expression. I'm going to just copy and paste it. I'm not going to rewrite it, not going to have to make fractions again. The fewer times you have to write things in the calculator, the fewer opportunities you have to accidentally make a mistake. Copy and paste will not only save you time, but it will also reduce your errors. Both of these are really good things to do. So use that copy and paste if you've got it. Enter, and then we enter again. Positive 16. Looks like we've got ourselves an answer. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay, let's kick this up one more notch of difficulty for today. So, we want to now make the equation be true, but we don't have a target number on either side of the equal sign. We have a variable on both sides of the equal sign. So we have to try these numbers and input them into the x here, and input them into the x here, and see if both results are the same. That is, making that equation true, that both sides are equal. So we're going to put 8.7 into x here, get a value, put 8.7 into x here, and get a value. If those two values are the same, 8.7 is the solution. If it isn't, we try the next one. It's still just plugging away, dropping numbers in, testing things out. And that is all you have to do to solve these. So let's go ahead. 8.7, store x, enter. Now, this copy and paste is really going to be useful because we're going to have to copy and paste both these expressions potentially 3 or 4 times each. 4, parentheses, x minus 7, enter. 6.8. Okay, keep that in mind, 6.8. It's also on your screen. You could also say write it under the 8.7 here if you wanted, but it's right there on your screen. So now we try the right side of the equation, 0.3 parentheses, x plus 2 plus 2.11. Those are different numbers, so number 1 is not our answer. We move on, 8.3, and store. Whoops, I made a mistake. Let's see what I did. I think I know what I did. Yep, I put a comma instead of a decimal point. Whoopsie, that's what happens when I use the computer keyboard instead of the mouse. It is possible to accidentally hit the comma here on your calculator, and it does actually have uses, but again, we're not doing it now. If you come from one of the many countries that uses the comma as the separator between whole numbers and decimal points, my apologies. This is how it works in the United States. You got to get used to it. Anyway, 8.3 stored into X. And now we go back up and we copy and paste 5.2. So we're looking for 5.2 from the other one. And if it is, great. It is. Wonderful. Copied, pasted, problem solved. Number 2 is the correct answer. Okay, let's try a similar one. Notice we got a whole lot of fractions here, so it's a good opportunity to practice those fraction buttons if you haven't gotten used to it already. You can try the left side using -2. You can try the right side using -2. See if you get the same answer. If you do, that's the answer. Otherwise, try the other ones. Remember, number 4 there, mixed number. So we're going to use that mixed number button, alpha y equals, just like with the fractions, except you'll go down to number 2 there and go with the UND mixed number button. Okay, we're going to talk about number 3 in just a minute, but give 1, 2, and 4 a try first. I'm going to pause the video, and we'll look at number 3 in 3, 2, 1. So if you tried 1, 2, and 4, and you saw those didn't work, and then you tried number 3, -11.333, you see that they almost work, right? -3.2221. It isn't until the 5th decimal place, that's the 10,000th places, before it starts being wrong. And that's because the ... there means this is a repeating decimal. It's not 0.333. It's 0.33333, an infinite number of 3's. How do you put that into the calculator? Well, there's 2 options here. Number 1, you can just recognize that your answer like this is going to be extremely close to correct. And when you see something like this where it's extremely close to correct, that is down to the 3/10,000ths before you get a mismatch, you can tell that's going to be the correct answer. The other option is, quick side lesson, how to put repeating decimals into your calculator. As far as I know, there is no repeating decimal button on the TI-84. However, you can put in a repeating decimal as a fraction, and it is in fact astonishingly easy. So that's repeating 3. All I need to do is make a fraction. Put that 3 up top and a 9 on the bottom. If I was to say, go ahead and go fraction decimal conversion right here, 0.3 repeating. This works for any repeating single digit number. I want 0.7 repeating. Okay. Fraction 7 over 9. And let's jump right to turning that into a decimal. .7 repeating. Oh, bonus side lesson to the side lesson. See that 8 at the end? That is the one and only example of your calculator giving you a wrong answer. The 7's repeat forever. The screen does not go on forever. So the calculator rounds the last digit on the screen depending on what the next number off the edge of the screen is. That next number is a 7, so it rounds up, and it gives you an 8. This is the same thing as for 0.5 repeating, 0.6 repeating, 0.8 repeating, 0.9 repeating, by the way. A side lesson to the side lesson to the side lesson. On your calculator, if you put 9 over 9, you're going to get 1, which is actually the same as 0.9 repeating. But we're not going there today. We have too much to do to get ready for the algebra Regents. So that's it for single-digit repeating decimals. That number over 9. Now you may be wondering, Mr. W, wait, what about 2-digit repeating decimals, like 0.232323 repeating? Well, fraction 23 but not over 9 because there's 2 digits repeating, so it's over 99. Fraction decimal conversion. Whoops. Did it down at the bottom. Always got to make sure. Come out from the fraction. There we go. Look at that. 0.23 repeating. So now you can go back and do, if you want, negative, and we get a mixed number. It's the UND. And we go 11 and 3 over 9, which is 0.3 repeating. Store that into X. And now, if we go back up to our almost matched expressions, and we put them in, there's negative 29 over 9, and negative 29 over 9. Works perfectly. But that's a lot. And if you can pick all that up, hey, great. Otherwise, you can just do like a bunch of 3s, and if the answer is very, very close, it's right. If it's not very, very close, it's not right. No worries. Okay, last bit for today. 2 for you to try. Notice now we're talking about functions, but it's still the same. When is one equal to the other? So that top one, you're going to put in 1/2 x plus 3, and you're going to try absolute value of x, and you're going to see if you get the same result. For the bottom one, you're going to put in x squared minus 2x minus 8, and 0.25x minus 1, and you're going to see if the answers are correct. I should also point out how to do absolute value, right? If you don't know how to do absolute value on your calculator, it is not anywhere on the buttons. You can look at the blue, look at the green. It's not there. That's all right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to press the button that says math, which seems weird because calculators do nothing but math, but there it is, math. We got fractions, decimal conversions, we got third power, third roots, we got all kinds of stuff. But we're going to go right one space to where it says num for numbers, and there's ABS. Hit enter, boom, absolute value of x. Okay, so again, math, right one, enter, absolute value. Okay, do that top one, see how you do. The bottom one, I will point out, each of the answer choices has 2 choices. So this is again a case where you can think strategically. If you put in 0 and it doesn't work, then you know answers 3 and 4 are both wrong. If it does work, then you know that either 4 will work as well, or negative 1.438 will work as well. And if you try one and it doesn't work, do try the other. Remember, just because everything you've done so far hasn't worked doesn't mean the other answer is right. You got to find the right answer first. Okay? So, try these 2, pause the video, and we'll come back with the right answers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's our answers. Hopefully you got number 3 for the top one and number 2 for the bottom one. If you did, good work. We're going to look at next time, just a little sneak preview, we're going to look at more equation solving, except now we're going to be dealing with squares and square roots. We're going to talk about what that mysterious symbol is doing there. But that's for next time. Have a great day.